All right, if Tuesday in the NHL were an Oprah Winfrey episode, it would be you get a trade, and you get a trade, and you get a trade, and everybody gets a trade except the Avalanche. Let's talk about it. New episode of Locked On Avalanche coming at you.
Your Locked On Avalanche, your daily podcast on the Colorado Avalanche. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
All right, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Locked On Avalanche, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. I'm your host, Chris Micieli. Joining me, as always, Mr. Zach Pearson. We will get to Josh Manson and his season grade a little bit later. That's going to get pushed down the line because my head is still spinning from this day in the NHL. Lots of movement going on, and we still got a few days before the draft. So maybe this keeps going on Wednesday, but we got a boatload of trades here and significant ones, Zach. Significant trades. And we'll start with the most recent one because, and thanks to your daughter for having a game that we had to record a little bit later than normal.
Yeah,
because another trade dropped right around the time when we typically start recording.
we would have missed it.
Well, that's the other thing. It might have happened while we were recording, which could still happen for another trade. Like the day is not over. So by the time we're done recording this, we could have another one. But this one is kind of significant because it is a former Av, and he is also coming back to the Central. Stop me if you've heard that one before. But this one is Byram, and you hear rumors of so many guys moving. I actually love this stuff. I mean, it's fun because it's great to see players move around. But has it not seemed like in the past few years you hear all of the insiders saying like, "Oh, there's talk about this guy, talk about this guy, talk about this guy," and nothing happens?
Yeah,
We're getting some of those names getting shopped around. We'll start with the Byram one. And just to kind of recap the trade, so he obviously goes from the Buffalo Sabres to the Chicago Blackhawks. So the Blackhawks get Byram and Jordan Greenway, and the Sabres get the number 4 overall pick in the draft from Chicago and a second-round pick, which was the Islanders pick. That's number 45, and they get a prospect too. But holy cow, with that 4th overall pick, that one made my eyes bug out of my head.
yeah.
Let's start with this one. We'll go through these trades one at a time, but we'll start with that one because it involves Byram. It's the most recent one. Number 4 overall. Wow.
Who is the GM in Buffalo? If I'm remembering correctly, and I'm pretty sure I have this right, they fired their general manager in the season, replaced him, and then that's when Buffalo went on the tear, because we were all like, how do they go from basically doing nothing to crazy red hot team after just firing the GM? Well,
yeah,
GM's cooking with gas still because that trade favors Buffalo pretty heavily. I'm a big Bowen Byram fan, but the number 4 overall pick plus a second round pick, I mean, I know you sent Greenway with it, but to get a prospect, a second round, and the number 4 is crazy value for Byram. And if he wasn't going to re-sign in Buffalo, you just turned a guy that potentially could have walked next summer to like huge, to an absolute insane return. I agree. Eyes bugging out of the head is exactly what my reaction was to this one.
Everything you heard with Byram was he wanted to get paid.
Yep.
In the 10 million plus range. And he wanted, top pairing minutes, which both of those things might not have happened in Buffalo, but it did seem like he was happy there. And it seemed like he was happy, like with them turning things around. So, but money kind of talks here. And you wonder, this is one of those things where it's like you balance playing time and money with winning in a Stanley Cup. He's got the Stanley Cup. So is that not as much of important to him anymore? I'd like to think it's still important to Byram being as young as he is, I'm sure he wants to win more Stanley Cups.
Yeah.
But I think he wants to have it all. And he wasn't going to have it all in Buffalo.
No.
But to go to Chicago, you're gonna make your money because they have the cap space. You're gonna make your playing time because they're gonna love to have you. Now you gotta prove it, because he really hasn't been that guy wherever he's gone. He wasn't that guy in Colorado, which is why he kind of left there. There's other reasons, obviously, what the Avs needed in return. But and then he didn't become that in Buffalo. He's going to be that in Chicago. So this is going to be his first opportunity to really put his money where his mouth is and be that top pairing guy. But wow, Chicago. The thing with the number 4 pick is, and Chicago needed help on the defensive side. This draft is not the deepest draft. It's very top heavy, but what it does have is defensemen. There's a lot of good defensemen in this draft, but the way Chicago probably would have went defenseman with that number 4 pick. But their thinking is, we'd rather have Byram come in and not wait for a maybe even with a number 4 pick. It's a maybe, and a year or 2 or 3 of development with whoever we take, rather than right now Byram. Wow.
Chicago, I still think they are on that upswing, right? Like, I think they've gone through the bottom of the rebuild, and it's time for them to start ramping up. That's the impression I get. And I think this signals that they kind of have the same mindset. You've still got Connor Bedard. We're going to continue to hear about him and his development for a long time, but eventually you do kind of have to start putting pieces around him. And I really do like what you said there, because that was exactly what I was going to say. Bo might not be a proven top pairing defenseman commodity, but he is a proven good NHLer, a proven good defenseman. I don't care how touted somebody is in the draft. It is still luck of the die. You have no idea if they're actually going to pan out once they hit the NHL level. So I kind of understand why Chicago did this ish. It still just feels like so much to pay.
It really does. It really does. I want to say it's a good job by Chicago to get like you said, a solid defenseman. Yep. I think the jury is still out on if he can be that top pairing guy, because we just haven't seen it. We don't know.
Yeah, 100%. Not yet. Don't know yet.
But they are feeling like, we'll be fine. And that is paying a premium. Paying a premium for I mean, look at the moves from defensemen by teams grabbing defensemen.
Yep.
You have Toronto making a trade for Radish, who one season, and he gets an 8-year, $8.5 AAV contract based on one season.
Yep.
And Byram, who we have more. What's the word I'm looking for Bo? More of a consistency, I guess, with Byram.
We have more
now
film
he's
on
taken
him.
a step up in what he's going to be expected to do.
Yeah.
We'll see.
This
Crazy.
is exciting. This is what a day.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, we're just getting started.
I know this is scratching the surface, and I already feel like if this was the only trade of today, I'd be like mind blown what just happened. And we still have more to get to.
So the next one involves another team from the Central, and that is the St. Louis Blues. They send Jordan Kyrou to the Washington Capitals in return for Connor McMichael, Milton Gastrin, I believe is how you pronounce his name, and a first-round pick. The Washington Capitals first-round pick, which I believe is 16 overall. So Kyrou goes out the door. I think that's a very good pickup for the Capitals. And I like Connor McMichael. I mean, he's no Jordan Kyrou, but I like him. I think he had a down year, but I think he could provide something for St. Louis. Not what Jordan Kyrou will get you, but they get the 16th overall pick, and Kyrou goes to the East Coast. So I guess that benefits the Avs because that's a pretty good player out of the Central.
Don't mind seeing Kyrou leave the Central.
No, but pretty good trade. Pretty good trade for Washington. Any comments on that one?
Washington comes out ahead on that trade. It is interesting. Do we know yet? Is Ovi done or is he coming back?
He hasn't said yet.
I didn't think so.
I would think he's coming back. I don't think he's the type to like. I think he's going to want a farewell tour.
Yeah,
and he deserves one. So
yeah, fair. This kind of signaled to me that my gut feeling is that this means Ovi's coming back, and this is the opportunity. Like, let's go get somebody that can bolster that roster and try to push us over the top for contention.
Helps.
Because I agree. Like Connor McMichael, I'm not really up to date on my Milton Gastrin, but Connor McMichael, solid player. But Jordan Kyrou, way more value, I think, for Washington. Yeah. So they come out ahead, but I think this is smart by St. Louis. I think this is a relatively fair trade because you clear up some space, you get yourself another first round pick, and you're ready to kind of start building up towards what you need to be building up towards. So, and
you get Kyrou through 2031. So
yeah, Capitals do.
It's not where his contract is running out. So I think that's a pretty good move for the Capitals. Why don't we get a break in here? And there's two more to get to. We'll talk about those. And the Avs were silent, but can we expect some moves from them so far? We'll break all that down. All right, let's hear from Kalshi. We got Kalshi on the docket. The World Cup is here, and it's the most electric time in soccer. On Kalshi, you can trade every single match and, of course, the championship game. Lots of soccer action going on right now. You have Switzerland and Canada. That is being played on Wednesday. And right now, Switzerland is trading at 40% on Kalshi. I haven't followed it too much, but Switzerland always seems like a pretty good team. Is Canada? I don't know how they are in soccer.
I don't either.
Yeah, but
I'm not up to date enough on my soccer.
Well, if you're in our Discord chat, you are up to date on Team Scotland.
Well, Scotland is Scotland's where I'm putting my money right now.
Outside of Team USA, that's who everybody in our Discord chat is rooting for.
I will trade on Scotland.
Yes. I don't have their probability here, but you have Switzerland, like I said, trading at 40%. So if you are betting $100 on that and that wins, $239.92 is your payout. Pretty good payout if you're going for Team Switzerland. So go over on Kalshi. You're trading against peers in a live market, meaning there is no house and the probability changes, and you can buy in and out of your position. And for a limited time, download the Kalshi app and use the code LOCKEDON to get $10 when you trade $10. So go to Kalshi, Kalshi, where, of course, you can trade on anything. Also brought to you by Odoo, and running a business shouldn't feel like you're trying to connect a bunch of systems that were never designed to work together. One app for accounting, another for inventory, another for sales, and somehow none of them talk to each other. And that's where Odoo comes in. Odoo is an all-in-one business management software that brings every part of your business together in one powerful platform. From sales and accounting to inventory and marketing, everything works in one place, helping your team move faster, stay organized, and focus on growing the business instead of managing software. The best organizations know that success isn't just about talent. It's about having everyone working towards the same goal. That's true in sports, just like it is in business, just like it is with the Colorado Avalanche. Even though they weren't making any moves on Tuesday, maybe they will on Wednesday because everybody's working together. We'll wait and we'll find out, hopefully, in a couple hours. Let's hope for that. Great organizations win because operations matter. That's why you should get Odoo. Try for free today at odoo.com/lockedon. That is Odoo, ODOO.com/lockedon. Go check them out today. All right, let's keep going with these trades that happened on Tuesday. Another pretty big one here. I always love when a big player leaves one team and immediately the fan base of the team of the superstar player who left is angry because they lost a player. But it's always just like, just wait. Like you stockpiled some picks here in Ottawa and they made a move.
Yep.
And it's a pretty good one. It's a pretty good one. The Senators get William Eklund from San Jose and a couple other players. They got Casper. I'm going to butcher this last name. Haltunen, I believe is how you say it. And Brandon Vaboda from the Sharks for the first round pick, number 9 overall. So that number 9 pick is gone to like 14 out of 32 teams, it seems like so far. But so the Sharks with a pretty savvy move here. I think Ottawa with a pretty savvy move as well. Go ahead. Talk about whatever the Ottawa side first if you want, and then we'll talk about the Sharks.
This is a move that I do think makes sense for both sides. You get 3 guys back to bolster up your forwards. I like Eklund. I'm not as familiar with Casper Haltunen. Yeah.
No, me neither.
Yep. But I do like Eklund. I think he's going to fit well in what Ottawa's trying to do. And Ottawa still has some time or draft picks to make some other roster improvements.
Mm-hmm.
So I do agree. Like yesterday, if I'm an Ottawa fan, I'm going, what in the world are we doing? And then today I'm going, okay, there is a plan there. Maybe there is at least some kind of plan.
Right.
I do like the move. I think it's solid.
It's not. It's almost like you ever see that movie? Be Kind, Rewind. I don't know if you ever see that movie. It's a Jack Black movie. Most Def is in it. It's it's an older movie, and you know they own a VHS store, and all the VHS gets like demagnetized. So they have to like record the movies themselves. They have to like make 20-minute short videos of the movies. And these guys come back and they slam the VHS on the counter thinking they're going to be mad. And they were like, it's pretty good. What else you got? And that's this move, like for Ottawa. Like it doesn't solve the losing Brady Tkachuk aspect, but it's a good step. And you still have some bullets in the chamber here to pull off some more moves. So I like it. Eklund's a good player, good young player that I think is just scratching the surface. And he's a good cap hit, $5.6 million
for 3 more years.
3 more years, yeah.
Like,
so
that is
good move.
awesome.
Good move for Ottawa. Good start and it's not a rebuild. I don't want to say it's a rebuild because I don't think they're rebuilding. There's no way they're going to rebuild.
No,
but
I think the rebuild's done. I think it's like after making the playoffs, they're ready to.
Right. You can't then now step back and go backwards again. No, you can't do that.
This makes a lot of sense.
For San Jose, like I said, they need some defense too. And this is a very defensive heavy draft. So I think in getting that number 9 pick, a lot of people were wondering what they were going to do with the number 2 pick. Yeah. Would they move that? Like they probably now are set at number 2. We'll take Ivar Stenberg at number 2, who is really the number 1A overall pick, or 1B, I should say.
Yeah.
Like McKenna's 1A, he's 1B. And you've seen them go back and forth depending on like what mock you're looking at. Sometimes McKenna's 2 to the Sharks. I don't think that's going to happen. I think Toronto should do the smart thing and take McKenna. Stenberg is probably going. So they will get the first / 1.5 best player in this draft and a top line defenseman in this draft. San Jose will. They are setting themselves up so nice for the future. And they are a scary team going.
This is a team that is building, like they are building for long-term success.
Oh my God.
Like draft the right guys, get the right guys in. They're young. They're super talented. I've said it before. I think if I have to go for a second team, I'm staying in the Western Conference and it's got to be the Sharks. I'm excited to see what they do.
I'm liking it now because I'm liking it. It's enjoyable to see them really turn things around and do it the right way, make some smart moves. I'm going to hate it in
In
4
a
or
few
5
years.
years.
Yeah.
I'm
Oh,
going
yeah,
to
me too.
hate it.
I will be
because,
completely over them.
oh my God. They will be that team that you will hate because they are setting themselves up for a really good future, a really good run. If they do this draft, how we think that they're going to do it. So, yeah. Okay. And then you had the Calgary Flames and the New Jersey Devils making a deal. This is the one that kind of started everything on Tuesday. So the Flames get Simone Nemetz and Maxim Siplikov from the Devils for a 2027 first round pick, which was Vegas's, and a conditional 2028 first round pick, which was the Avalanche. That was their first round pick, which obviously went to Calgary. And a 2026 second round pick from the Rangers and Etienne Morin prospect there. So you for the Devils, they get 3 picks and a prospect. And for Calgary, the big name here is Nemetz.
Yeah.
So young, good defenseman, which every team seems like they'll just grab them whenever they can. So whatever. It's a good deal.
Little surprised at this one for Calgary because I feel like Calgary needs to be building more than not really at this point. So I was a little surprised to see them, but with Nemetz only being 22, they have a ton of cap space and they still have 2 first round picks, 3 second round picks, and 2 third round picks in this draft. So yeah, you can afford to throw a couple of picks for a proven commodity. Looking at it through that lens, I don't feel like that's necessarily an overpay from Calgary. They saw what they wanted. They went out and got it. Good for them. And I think it's a right step for New Jersey. They were up and down a lot last year. So I think this makes a lot of sense for them too, to try and maybe inject some young talent into the team that they kind of need.
The only interesting thing with this trade is Nemetz is not signed, and there was no guarantee. There was not like a sign and trade or anything like that, or they got his rights or anything like that, or they have his rights, but there was no contract signed before he moved. So Calgary must feel confident that it's going to get done.
You would
think so. That it would, but there's, it's just always the possibility, even with a guy who's restricted. But
now that would be rough.
Yeah. Because if you haven't heard, restricted free agents have left Calgary in the past. Matthew Tkachuk. So I don't think they're thinking of that. They're like, well, that was kind of an anomaly, and this will be okay. But it is a little interesting that he was not signed.
They have the cap space to sign him to a pretty good contract too. So
right.
And Nemetz he's earned a solid contract here. So I think he moves to a spot that he can get paid and potentially build with a team that has the beginning of a build happening. Like that's kind of the time to get in potentially right here and get paid. So not a terrible move for Nemetz.
Yeah. We'll see how that goes down. So those are your trades. And Mike Babcock was introduced as the head coach of the Edmonton Oilers. Zach is slapping his forehead. If you saw it on YouTube, you could probably hear it in the microphone.
We're not going
to spend too much time on that, but
no, the head slap's about as much time as I want to give it.
I think that spoke volumes.
Yeah,
for that. So if that's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
All right, let's get our last break in. We'll talk briefly about if the Avalanche are going to join this trade party, and then we'll get to Josh Manson and his season grade. We'll do all of that next. Let's hear from him. ZD is way more common than most guys think, and millions of men deal with it at some point. HIMS offers a simple, convenient way to take care of your health by connecting you with licensed healthcare professionals online and giving you access to personalized treatment options from the comfort of your home. No awkward appointments, no pharmacy lines, just a straightforward process designed to make getting care easier. Taking care of yourself shouldn't feel complicated. And HIMS makes the process private and easy to navigate. It's healthcare built around your schedule and your comfort. And when something is already uncomfortable to talk about, the last thing you want is a complicated process. Having the ability to start online from home makes taking that first step feel more manageable. So to get simple online access to personalized, affordable care for ED, hair loss, weight loss, and more, visit hims.com/lockedonnhl. That's hims.com/lockedonnhl for your free online visit. hims.com/lockedonnhl. Prescription is required. See website for details and important safety information. Sildenafil is a generic version of Viagra, and Viagra is a registered trademark of Viatris Specialty LLC. HIMS is not affiliated or endorsed by Viatris. Check out HIMS today. The only thing that the Avs were involved there was the history of Bo Byram, and their first round pick, which they sent to Calgary, now goes to the Devils.
Yep.
So it's kind of like 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon there. But do we see and the Avs are, really the only thing that you hear with the Avs is the Val part of things. There's always the possibility of some other moves and guys, and the Avs seem to do that a lot of we weren't thinking about that guy at all, and they make a move. Val is kind of like the big name out there of someone that could move if anything is to happen soon. Do they? Does this stuff continue on Wednesday and the Avs are involved?
Yes.
Okay.
Since everybody is just overpaying and first round picks are being thrown out like Halloween candy, Joe Sakic, call up John Chaika right now. Number 1 overall pick for Valeri Nichushkin. Get it done.
1 for 1. One pick for one Val.
Go get it done.
You would have to think that. I don't think the Avalanche are just sitting back doing nothing, right?
No,
but some of these moves are pretty rich. So I don't think the Avs really want to give up prospects. I don't really think they have prospects to give up. And the ones that they could, I think they want to hang on to because that prospect pool is pretty thin.
Yep.
So I would love to get, and the first round pick, if they do get one, it doesn't even have to be for this year. Because like I said, it's not that heavy of a draft class, especially in the first round. So even if that's for next year, which you don't have a first round pick next year either, which I have not looked into that draft class at all yet. So I don't know if that one is better than this one or not. Even if you go that route.
Class of the last 6 months.
What's that?
Next year's draft class. Best draft class of the last 6 months.
Of course. Yeah,
yep.
Of course. So we'll see what they do, but I'm sure the Avalanche have been working the phones and doing doing their due diligence, but we'll see. We'll see. I think they're trying, just nothing's happened yet.
I joke about the number 1 to Toronto. Obviously, Gavin McKenna would look amazing in burgundy and blue.
Definitely.
But I do think you should be able to get a first-round pick for Val based on the value that everything else is going. And I agree. Next year, I'm perfectly fine with a first-round pick next year. Go get yourself something solid. Get yourself into the conversation with a good first-round move and clear up a little bit of cap space. And I think you just you put yourself in a better position.
Yeah.
And there's no way Joe Sakic is not just sitting there twiddling his thumbs while all of this stuff is going down.
No.
Because you know what, though? He did have the reputation of, do GMs want to really talk to Joe Sakic? Because he always gets the best trades. I wonder if they're just ignoring his calls. Like, oh no, Sakic's back. We're just going to decline Avalanche.
Yeah, because if the moves are happening like you're seeing, Sakic does better than what the kind of like the going rate is.
Yep.
So, yeah, maybe the first overall pick is on the table. For you have no idea. No,
he's just gotta get that phone, get it ringing enough that they have to pick it up.
Yeah, someone has to pick it up. So I think he just needs to change his number or maybe change his name. Because when the caller ID pops up, people are like, "No, he's going to kill me."
John Sacco is calling. Yes.
Joe Sacco? No, don't.
No, John. Joe Sakic was terrible.
All right, so what do we got? Yeah, we'll get to Josh Manson's grade here. But overall, yeah, I think the Avalanche are going to try to do something.
They'll make a move
relatively here pretty soon.
Or we'll hear that they were in on some moves. If nothing gets made, they'll be in on it.
And I would love to kind of double dip here where you get a first round pick, whether it's this year or next year, whatever, and then, use that money to go get a free agent. I think people might be thinking like, oh, if the Avs inherit a first round pick, it'll just go right back out the door. That's possible. Yeah, that's true. It could. Those are valuable. Yeah. If there's a player out there that they want that can directly replace Val, and it includes a first round pick that you got for him, okay. Yeah. But why not save that pick and see if you can dip into the UFC? Don't dip into the UFC pool to fill the right wing spot. The UFA section of the
I like
the
that
off-season.
pool a lot better.
That's one's a little bit better, right? Maybe for a little less money, if you can. I mean, not that Val's at a terrible number, but I think you could do two things there. You could kill two birds with one stone. You can get a first round pick and go sign a free agent that replaces him.
Agreed.
So we'll see how it goes. Josh Manson and his season grade. Let's get to that and throw it up on YouTube. You and I both came in at a B+, and everybody on socials came in at B as well. I think this was his best season with the Avs. I really do.
Yeah, there's a good, strong argument for that.
I thought he was really good this year.
Yep.
And I would have given him an A- if he could just correct the one thing that drives me crazy, and that's stupid penalties. he's the one guy on the team that everybody makes a stupid penalty.
Yep.
But it just seems like Josh Manson did it at a higher clip than almost anybody else. And that's the only thing that prevented me from giving him. I thought he had a great season. He had a great year.
I really thought he did too. It's hard to, because I agree, penalties definitely factored into this for me here. But on the positive side of it, like you said, his best season in an Avs sweater, 79 games played. That is huge because he has had a tendency to miss big stretches of time. Mm-hmm. Only missing 3 games is great. I think that is his third best in his career. He had an 80 and an 82 game season with the Ducks. But for the Avs, most games he's played, his most points with the Avs, and a plus 42 is pretty awesome. Mm-hmm. He also had a ton of hits. I had this stat pulled up here. Let's see if I can get back real quick.
Hits, he's got 174.
Yep. And he led, what was it, in individual high danger chances for. Sorry, didn't lead, but he was third among defensemen on Colorado. So only behind Devon Toews and Cale Makar, he had the most individual high danger chances for, which that's not something that I would have expected to be out of Josh Manson.
Right.
Maybe Sam Malinsky had the number 3. Brent Burns having number 3 individual high danger chances for, just because that guy loves to shoot the puck. Any of those would have made sense. When I saw that number, I was like, that took me from the B to the B+. I'm like, yep, you're contributing all over.
That's an interesting stat. And yeah, I wouldn't expect Burns to be, because Burns, he's firing pucks from the blue line. That's not
true
high danger, right? But Manson, he found his way into high danger chances way more than I thought someone of his size and ability would be able to do.
Yeah.
Like, how many times was he cutting through defenders and you're like, who is that guy? Oh, that's Josh Manson finding his way right in front of the net, kind of deking guys out. Like, what
moments where he'll start to move down the ice and he's McKinnon-esque. I mean, not like, obviously not McKinnon, but
right.
Sometimes he catches you off guard. You're like, where's that speed? Who's that? And then you're like, oh, that's Josh Manson. Burns was 4th in high danger chances for individually for Avs blue liners, with half of the high danger chances that Josh Manson had. This is all according to Natural Stat Trick.
There you go.
So yeah, I really did like his season. That penalties number, as you just pulled up, is exactly what we were talking about.
Yeah. So his JFresh page, it's good. Your graph on the right hand side over the last for his WAR percentile goes up for the last 3 years. Offense dipped a little bit last year, but it's vastly improved this year. And for a guy like him, you get anything offensive out of him, and that's, I want to say it's a bonus.
Yeah.
But he had 31 points this year. That's great for someone of what Josh Manson provides for you. Even strength offense, he's in the 60th percentile, even strength defense, 87th. So that's what you want out of him. Finishing, I don't really care too much about with a defender, but I just thought it's a very solid, really good season for Josh Manson, and you have him locked up for a few more years at a lesser cap hit.
Decent value, yeah.
So he was $4 million this year, and he goes down to like 3.5 or something. I think he went down to.
Does he? Okay.
Yeah, I think that's what starting this year. Where is he? 3.95. So
okay.
A little bit less. So not that much less, but a little bit less. Less is less.
Yeah. Well, under 4,
yeah.
If he can produce even close to offensively, it doesn't have to be. I don't expect the same thing going into his year 35 age season. But I still expect solid defensive play. I still expect him to be able to do some offensively. And because he can show those flashes, that exists in his game. Under 4 million is a bargain for this guy. You're feeling great about it. So yeah, I do like it.
And he's your muscle.
Yep.
Like he is. Avs are not, that's not how they're designed. They're not built for, just going to body you up game in and game out. We know that. And we've talked about before, like if they need to play that way, they will. But he's your guy that you turn to when there a score needs settling. He's the one to do that. So
yeah,
and that's a nice little bonus feature, Josh Manson too. So
it is. It really
was a good year. I liked watching him this year. He was fun to watch. So all right. That will wrap it up for today. It was a busy day. Are we gonna get version? What version is it? I mean, 3.0, because you had the Kachuk trade, then you had all these trades, and is Wednesday. Does this complete the trilogy of craziness for this week? We'll see. Stay tuned. But whatever goes down, we're going to talk about it on tomorrow's episode. So make sure you're tuned into that. But thank you for tuning into this one and making it your first listen of the day. It's always appreciated. He's Mr. Zach Pearson. I am Chris Micieli. It's the Locked On Avalanche podcast. We'll see you guys tomorrow, where you made it through a crazy 24 hours, and you're that much closer to next year's puck drop.